how to write this song. And that what you just got to make a disclaimer or something like that? And
What you gotta say?
About the songs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I told Reggie I was getting ready to go live, and he was like, let me turn the music down because we don't have the rights to this song. Okay, y'all, let me get to the business at hand. Don't want to keep you long waiting on people to join me. Hey, Jonathan, I love you. I thank you so much for all of your support. You're always amazing, and I just truly appreciate you. I'm trying to think of some ways to show people appreciation that support me. And I am watching, and I am keeping up and making it my business to keep up. Anyway, I want to talk to you all today about my suicide attempts. I had 2 of them. But I want to talk to somebody because around this time, around this season, people get depressed and people tend to try to find solutions or ways out of things that they're going through. And for me, I gave God some praise in service. I try my best to close everything out that's around me and think on the things that he's done for me. And this morning he reminded me of, and not in a bad way for those of you that think that God is trying to remind me of something bad, but he brought to my remembrance 2008 when I felt like my children would be fine, my mother could assist me with them. They were in high school and middle school at that time, and I thought they would be okay because I really felt like I wasn't bringing anything to their lives in the first place. I felt like I had struggled a lot and I had made some very poor choices when it came to trying to keep us together, and being a single mother trying to raise 3 kids by myself. And they were very active kids, so they were not kids who sat at home and looked around the room, but they were always active, always needed money, always trying to do things. And so it started to be overwhelming around this time, this season, because it was tradition in my family to have Thanksgiving at my house. And those of you that know, the school system paid you once a month. And so at the beginning of the month, I had to pay all my bills, and so that we could live comfortable. And for whatever reason, in 2008, things just started falling all at one time. And I think all of my kids needed something, $200 for this and $150 for this. And I think so much just came all at one time. And when I started trying to think of ways, I didn't want to go to stealing stuff. I didn't want to go to bar and stuff. I didn't want to be sleeping with folks to try to get things, to work out. I didn't want to be in stupid relationships with people trying to just have something for them. For Thanksgiving and Christmas, because right after Thanksgiving is Christmas. And so I let that stuff start in my brain first. And I don't know if you all know how the enemy works. I do. I'm not trying to put off, whatever he does on nobody else, but I'm going to tell you what he does. When he starts putting the depression in you, or planting these seeds and these negative thoughts, then he starts adding to, just to see if you're strong enough. And most of the time he knows that you're weak and what point at what point you're at. Anyway, I just felt overwhelmed. I didn't really want to be in any relationships. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to go home when I left work, and depression just came on me so heavy. But anyway, to make a long story short, and if you are somebody that goes through this, please feel free to inbox me and I'll give you more details so that you'll know that the devil plays the same tricks on all of us. He doesn't have new tricks. He doesn't have anything that's so thought of and thought through. He only uses our weaknesses. And so I want you to know that you're not in this by yourself, and that you don't have to resort to suicide. So what I did on a Sunday morning, I remember it was the Sunday morning before Thanksgiving, and I said, if I go ahead and end this, I don't have to cater to people on Thanksgiving. If I go ahead and end my life, I don't have to try to come up with ways to make things work out for the holidays. I don't have to be around people who really don't want to be around me. I don't have to try to figure out what I'm going to do about my job and, you know, the situations going on with my job. I don't have to work these 2 jobs. Then try to leave my children at home and scared that somebody from defects or whatever is going to come and lock me up or take my kids from me. It was just so much. It was so much that started coming on me. I had issues with my transportation. I had issues with money. I'm telling y'all, it was just so much that I had to deal with. And so that Sunday morning when I woke up, I had already had a hard time sleeping that night. And so I said, I'm just going to take a few pills and I'm just going to lay back down. I'm going to take a few pills and I'm going to lay back down. That's what I told myself. When I reached for the bottle, I kept saying 2 won't do, 3 won't do, 4 will probably put me to sleep. I even started trying to calculate in my mind. But then what some people didn't know is I had a gun also at my house. And so I said, no, I'm not finna torture myself with no pills, because if I torture myself with pills, see, that's how the devil do. You talk yourself into stuff. You talk yourself, you like playing it, because I'm a planner. And so I was like, if I take pills, I probably end up in somebody's emergency room somewhere. And if I take, so I'm just going to shoot myself and just get this on over with. And so I don't know where I got the courage to even lift the gun to my head. I'm going to be honest with you, because even today, just the thought of that does something in my spirit and caused me to about lose my mind. The fact that I thought that I was going to actually have enough strength to shoot myself. But what a lot of people don't know, not even my kids, I pulled the trigger. Yes, I did. I pulled it, and I'm telling you, I'm about to cry now, because I'm telling you about the power of God. I pulled the trigger, and on that particular gun I always had one of these, there's power behind it, and so when you pull it or whatever, you pop it or whatever, it jerk, move, or whatever. And so as I'm trying to get the gun where I think it needs to be, I moved it from the front of my head, then I moved it to my neck, thinking maybe back here in this area, and I'm thinking my way through. I looked to check the bullet in the gun, because when I pulled the trigger, it didn't work, and I was like, what are you talking about? This is crazy. Like, why didn't the gun go off? And some kind of way, the way the manufacturer had done the gun, the bullet got caught, like something inside of it caught the bullet. And when I tell y'all that I know it was God, because I actually gave it to one of my brothers to look at. And it was just the way the gun was made to where it blocked the tip and put a dent in the tip of it. And I wish I could show it to y'all. I tried to keep this so that people would believe me when I got ready to tell this story, and I failed to tell the story because I was like, folks gonna think I'm making up stuff. But I'm telling you that God blocked that bullet on that day. I can't explain it. My brother couldn't explain it. He asked a couple of friends at that time to help him to figure out. First, he was mad at me for trying to kill myself, but they was trying to figure out how come the bullet did not come out of the gun. And I began to think on that, and then I got a phone call. And the phone call was, Princess, I need you to do something for me. And I'm like, people always need me to doggone do something for them, and they'll never ask me how I'm doing. They'll never think maybe she needs something. They always talking about what can Princess do for them. And so I got so angry on the inside that I was like, that's why, and I quickly said it, that's why I didn't want to be here no more. And so if I'm talking to some of you who are always asking for stuff, who are always needing folks, sometimes you need to ask folks what they need. And so I'm not going to keep you on here long. I just wanted to share that with you. Today is almost my 10-year anniversary of when God decided to say, Princess, you're worth something. Princess, there's purpose for you. Princess, I have a vision for you. I have a plan for you. Princess, you need to be here because there are some things I'm going to use you to do. There's some things that I'm going to need for you to share with people. I'm going to need for you to remind people that I'm the God of opportunities and chances. And if even they don't have $5, I can still make a way. And that same year, that 2008, that I was sitting there trying to get baskets together, that same year, I got friends that know this. I was trying to get baskets together for those people who are in need, and I needed a basket myself. And so I'm just telling y'all, God is able. That year, God turned my situation and my life around, and so I thank Him. I thank Him for that. And I'm getting ready to go ahead and get some food, and I'm probably going to come back for part 2 a little bit later. But I just wanted to tell you all that if you're going through something, if you don't know if somebody in your family is dealing with depression, like my family would have been surprised and shocked. And because I'm always doing stuff, I'm always saying stuff, I'm always trying to go places and be something, be something for somebody. So you don't know. And so you need to reach out to your family. But I'll be back to give you part 2 after I eat.